The valet barely looked up as the sleek black Tesla rolled to a stop in front of the grand glass doors of the Halston Royale Hotel. The driver's door opened smoothly and out stepped a tall, sharply dressed man in a tailored navy blue suit. His presence was quiet but commanding, yet the young valet tossed him a casual nod, assuming he was just another guest. The man glanced at the gold-plated logo etched into the glass, then exhaled softly. He hadn't been here in over 6 months, not since he became CEO. Inside the grand lobby, polished marble floors gleamed under the crystal chandelier. The front desk buzzed with guests checking in and out, and behind it stood a woman in her late 20s, typing rapidly on the computer. Next, she called without looking up. The man stepped forward, placing his ID and credit card on the counter. "I have a reservation. One night, under Michael L. Carter." She glanced up briefly, then back at the screen. Her brows pinched slightly. "You don't look like a Michael Carter," she said, half joking, half skeptical. Michael smiled lightly. "Well, that's what it says on the ID." She gave a short, awkward chuckle, then scanned the card. A second later, she frowned. This card's been flagged. It says, 'Do not process without manager approval.' Weird. Hold on." Without another word, she picked up the phone and turned her back to him. Michael stood still, watching the lobby. A bellhop pushed a cart of luggage past him. No one recognized him. That was the idea. The receptionist hung up and turned, now more firm. "Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to step aside while we verify some things. Company policy." Michael raised a brow. "Company policy, yes, unless you'd like to pay in cash." Michael glanced down, then slowly looked back up. "And if I told you I own this hotel?" he asked calmly. She blinked, then smirked. "Right, and I'm Beyoncé." Michael didn't flinch. He simply slid his hands into his pockets and gave her a slow, knowing smile. "You might want to check with your general manager," he said, voice calm but unshakably confident. The receptionist, whose name tag read Tanya, crossed her arms. "Look, I don't know what kind of scam you're trying to pull," but scam, Michael repeated, raising an eyebrow. "You really want to go down that road?" Before she could answer, a sharply dressed man in a blazer rushed from the back office. "Mr. Carter," he exclaimed, breathless. "We weren't expecting you today." Tanya's arms dropped. The manager hurried over and extended his hand. "It's an honor, sir. I'm David, the new operations lead. I just started last month." Michael shook his hand. "Pleasure. I wanted to see how the place was running when no one expected me." Tanya looked like she'd swallowed a lemon. Her eyes darted between them, trying to make sense of what she'd just heard. I didn't know," she stammered. "There's no photo of you in the employee binder. You thought I didn't look like a CEO," Michael said evenly. "I didn't mean I was just doing my job," she said quickly. David turned to her, his expression tight. "Tanya, would you excuse us? I'll handle Mr. Carter's check-in personally." She opened her mouth, then shut it, nodding. "Yes, sir." Michael watched her walk away, then glanced at David. "She's not entirely wrong. There should be a photo, and more training." David nodded immediately. "Understood, sir. I'll take care of it." As they moved toward the elevator, Michael glanced around at the staff. No one had recognized him. Not the bellhops, not the concierge. That was a problem. He wasn't looking for fame, but leadership couldn't be invisible. As the elevator doors slid shut, David turned to him. "Would you like to inspect the penthouse suite?" Michael gave a small nod. "Later. First, I want to see the employee lounge and the kitchen unfiltered." The employee lounge smelled faintly of burnt coffee and microwave popcorn. The walls were beige, the furniture mismatched, and the bulletin board was cluttered with outdated flyers. Michael stood silently at the door, watching two housekeepers chat quietly over lunch. When they saw him enter with David, they immediately stood up. "No need," Michael said, raising a hand, "just observing." He walked slowly, noting everything: the flickering ceiling light, the stained carpet, the lack of natural light. "This is where they recharge between 10-hour shifts." David looked uncomfortable. "It's not ideal. We've been planning to update it for how long?" David hesitated about a year. Michael gave him a look that needed no words. From there, they made their way to the kitchen. The moment the doors swung open, the staff froze. Pots clattered, a dishwasher beeped, and a sous chef dropped his ladle. "Don't stop on my account," Michael said. A middle-aged man in a white chef's coat stepped forward, wiping his hands. "Chef Luis, head of kitchen staff, and you're Mr. Carter, right?" Michael nodded. "Just wanted to see how things run. No prep, no warning." Luis looked surprised but respectful. "It's not every day the boss walks through the back. I used to be the back." Michael replied. "Dishwasher, busboy, night janitor. You name it." Luis smiled. "Then you already know we make it work. But we're short on equipment." In time, Michael scanned the room. The ovens were outdated. The floors clean, but cracked. People were working hard with little. He turned to David, put together a list of upgrades. "I want it this week." "Yes, sir." As they stepped back into the hall, Michael's phone buzzed. A message from the board reminder. "Quarterly review in 2 weeks. Investors want stronger diversity numbers." Michael smirked at the irony. They wanted diversity in reports, but couldn't even recognize him in his own lobby. "I'll need the employee files sent to me tonight," he said. "Of course. Anything else?" Michael paused. "Yeah. Tanya. I want to talk to her again before I leave." Tanya sat stiffly in the small HR office, fingers laced tightly in her lap. The door creaked open and Michael stepped in, calm as ever. He didn't bring David. He didn't need to. She stood up quickly. "Mr. Carter, I just want to say—" "Sit," he said gently, gesturing to the chair. She obeyed. He sat across from her, folding his hands. For a moment, he just studied her. No anger, no judgment, just silence that made her shift uncomfortably. "You've been here how long?" he finally asked. 8 months, she said, front desk associate. "You like the job?" She hesitated. "I like working with people." "But the training?" It was fast, mostly policies, not much about the company itself. Michael nodded slowly. "Do you know who founded this hotel?" She blinked. "I don't." "My grandfather," he said, "started with a single roadside motel and a dream to build something better. Something where everyone was treated like they mattered." Tanya's throat tightened. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disrespect you." "It's not about me," Michael said. "It's about what you saw or didn't see." She looked down. "I assumed, based on how you looked." "That was wrong." "Yeah," he said quietly. "But it's also common. That's the problem." He leaned back. "You're not being fired, Tanya." She looked up, surprised. "But I am assigning you a new task. Starting Monday, you'll assist with guest experience training. And we're reworking onboarding, so new hires actually understand who we are." Her eyes widened. "Wait, you want me to help train people? You made a mistake, but you also asked questions. You followed a flag on my card. That means you do your job. You just need better tools and a bigger lens." She swallowed hard. "Thank you, sir." Michael stood. "You're welcome. But next time someone says they own the building, maybe don't compare them to Beyoncé." Tanya laughed nervously, noted. As he walked out, the staff watched him differently now. He wasn't just a name on paper. He was present. Real Michael stepped outside, the sun warming his face. He didn't need applause. He needed change, and it had just begun.